It would appear that Donald Trump is the first ever cisgender straight white man president that's being charged with a crime. Is that how you do it? Because like I noticed when it's a movie coming, like, first ever black female Marvel superhero. It's you know, they're like credentials. It's like the school of life, the identity. But of course, when you're going to charge a politician like Donald Trump, especially the leading in the polls when it comes to the representatives for the Republican Party, it's going to be viewed as political, which is why every single Democrat that had the statement was like, oh yeah, this is so good. Absolutely, justice. Oh yeah, justice. What is he being charged with? We don't know, but he's probably guilty. Meanwhile, the Republicans are like, oh, this is outrageous. Banana Republic, tin horn Republic. So my personal take is that this is going to help him in the polls. I don't know by how much, but definitely a significant percentage. I do happen to see people on Twitter claiming that they weren't interested in politics, they never voted before, but due to seeing this unfold in front of their very eyes, they are going to run to the voting booths. So I do expect a very interesting media circus out of this. I mean, both Donald Trump as well as the media are probably excited about it. Specifically because, you know, like Donald Trump wanted to be filmed with handcuffs going to the court because he knows, like everyone knows, yeah, like this is going to help him a lot in the upcoming election. So there is going to be a massive circus, and the people covering it are going to be happy. YouTubers, Twitch streamers. It doesn't matter if you're pro-Donald Trump, if you're anti-Donald Trump, if you're... as long as you're covering and you have like some important blah 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 to say, you can make money, just like they made during the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, just like they made during the Johnny Depp lawsuit. This one is going to be bigger than those. And if it's going to be live-streamed, I don't know. But if it is, then the coverage is going to be very successful for certain channels. If it's not being live streamed, then just covering the events and talking about what was discussed is also going to be important. But in the meantime, we can see what the internet has to say about it. As you can see, like many people are saying that this is unacceptable. Interesting that Ron DeSantis also had something to say about it, and the reason it's interesting is because he's also running for the position as the representative of the Republican Party. So, helping someone that's running against you is very unusual. Usually, during these couple of months before an election, they don't like each other. I mean, I remember Ted Cruz having many swipes at Donald Trump, and Donald Trump responding in kind. But after the elections, they started becoming best buddies again. This also happened with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Like, Kamala Harris was very aggressive towards Joe during the debates, the Democratic debates. But now she's the vice president. So to see Ron DeSantis come up and say that the weaponization of the legal system to advance a political agenda turns the rule of law on its head, it's un-American, Soros-backed Manhattan District, yada, 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 it is very unusual. Of course, people went after Ron DeSantis for not going further and naming Trump in the tweet. But everyone knows who he's talking about, so, you know, it's up to you to say if he actually did good or not. But I wonder, like, if the people who are upset that he didn't put Trump in the tweet, I wonder if those people would support Ron DeSantis the next elections, right? It is what it is. It's still more than I expected, by the way, because I expected that he would be quiet about this, but he did tweet it out, so kudos to him. It is beyond belief that the district attorney, Alvin Bragg, has indicted a former president and current presidential candidate for pure political gain. Arresting a presidential candidate on a manufactured basis should not happen in America, claims Mr. Glenn Youngkin. Mike Pompeo also had something to say. Representative Paul Gosar called it that the regime occupying our country, systemically killing America, right? So, as you can see, there's a lot of people weighing in on this. I don't know if Tucker Carlson has made something as of yet. But the Democrats are the opposite, right? So, like, you have Nancy Pelosi here saying that the grand jury has acted upon the facts and the law, she says. No one is above the law, and everyone has the right to a trial, says the lady which was doing her hair during the COVID lockdowns. Do you guys remember that? Yes, no one is above the law, absolutely. Hopeful, but what I love the most is like her understanding of the law. She says that everyone has the right to a trial to prove their innocence. Now, as Carl Benjamin Sargar is saying here very aptly, people do not prove their innocence, Nancy. That's not how the modern judicial system works. I mean, I understand that Nancy is of a venerable age, right? Like, she has a lot of wisdom because she lived a lot of years, but I don't think she lived since the Salem witch trials, right? Because that's how things were done then. Like, there you had to prove your innocence. We usually assume that people are innocent until proven guilty. Does that make any sense, right? It's very difficult to prove your innocence. Next to impossible. Unless you're Kavanaugh and you have, like, this autistic habit of documenting everything you do, and you have, like, these catalogs that go, like, 20 years in the past, and someone accuses you, and you're like, well, actually, 20 years ago, during the Tuesday that you've accused me, I was out of town, you know? Like, most people don't do that. But it does so happen. Like, sometimes you can be accused of, you know, me tooing someone, and you can be like, well, unfortunately, Your Honor, my cock isn't 300 kilometers long because I was in New York during the time, and the lady happened to be in San Francisco, and, you know, I can't fold my penis to that degree in order to make it just 300 kilometers or whatever the distance is between those two places, right? So, like, you can, in some cases, prove your innocence. But that's not how it works, because imagine if it was like that, the police could stop you and be like, I want to see your watch. And you're like, yes, why? You stole it. Like, no, I didn't steal it. Show receipt. But I bought it like 5 years ago. I don't have a receipt. Ah! You know, let me see your phone. Is it yours? Yes, officer. No, you stole it. No, it's my phone. Like, did you have receipt? No. Ah! Like, that would mean to live in a world where you have to prove your innocence. Would be a horrible system, wouldn't it? And I remember that, I believe it was with the Russian collusion, or some other thing where they investigated Trump. They also couldn't find out that he is guilty, and they said, well, he's not guilty, but that doesn't prove he's innocent. And I'm like, do these people understand how the legal system works in modern democracies? Like, they're not in the Soviet Union. But even in the Soviet Union, like, technically they would act that you're guilty, but, like, they would still, like, they wouldn't say that you have to prove your innocence. They wouldn't say it out loud, right? Like, it was implied, but they wouldn't just state it out loud like Nancy Pelosi does here. It's very bizarre. But yeah, hilarious as well, their understanding of the law. It's like, you need to go and you need to prove you're innocent. I guess, like, what she wants to say, but again, it needs a little bit of education in order to say something like this. Defend your reputation, right? Nancy, you should go with this. Defend your reputation. This is actually true in Romania. Like, you can be charged with a crime. Like, for example, a neighbor. Sorry, not necessarily charged with a crime, but a neighbor can sue you for doing something, right? And then they can withdraw their complaint. But you can insist that you go through the whole trial, so that you can prove to the world that you're actually a person that maintains its reputation. So, for example, let's say the neighbor accuses you of doing obscene gestures, right? And then they withdraw their complaint. But, like, now the newspapers, you know, they have the title that you did obscene gestures. You're like, no, you're not withdrawing your complaint. We're going through with this so that I can prove that I'm innocent. Right? And that you have no evidence that I did it. This possibility exists in the legislation of Romania. But it's to defend your reputation, not your innocence. Right? Two different things. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.